Alright everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Overly Modded Repentance. Today we're going to hop in as Isaac, because as I always explain, he has a D6, which means you see more modded items, and modded items are cool. Today's question today. I literally have never even debated whether or not I have a question of the day. You know what, let's just keep it simple. Do you like the beach? Now, I'm going to assume some of you have never even been to a beach, which is sad, and I'm sorry for you. But if you have been to the beach, or if you've just like formed an opinion on the beach without ever having gone to a beach, do you like the beach? I'm indifferent. When I was younger, I didn't like the beach at all. See, I don't like the sun. Ow. I have red hair. Well, at least I used to. It's not that red anymore. Anemic is too trash for me. Like, even if we don't get a reroll, I'm not coming back for it. Yeah, so when I was younger, I used to hate the beach, but keep in mind when I was younger, I was also like severely redheaded, and like when you're a redhead, you burn very easily. Like I'm talking very, very, very easily. I had if you're in the sun too long and you get too bad of a sunburn, you can get like blisters on your skin because of how bad the sun burned you, and occasionally these blisters can get very, very big. Now that's like a pretty bad sunburn type deal when blisters get that big. But once upon a time, I went to the beach as a youngster. I want to say I was probably about 10 when this happened. Okay, I'll just take that for free. Okay. I mean, this is a weird one. All right. Yeah, this is definitely a weird one. Give me a okay, we have a way out if we want it. This is just weird. I think I might even just take Tarot Cloth because Tarot Cloth is like very solid. Teleports to Special Arcade. I think we might be going to a Special Arcade soon. Once we have more money though. But yeah, so I did have some of these blisters. Now I've gotten them several times over the course of my life. I'm talking like most times I went out as a child, I would get these blisters. One time in particular, I got these blisters, and they were not just your normal. Oh, I like this. I think this one is one of the turtle melon rooms. Now I do want to like bait out a shot from this guy. Never mind. Okay, no, we baited him. But yeah, so one time these blisters, and now it wasn't just one of the blisters. It was one trip, but two blisters. They got bad, and I mean like, and this is not an over exaggeration by any stretch of the imagination. That was too many. Wow. They got bad, and I mean like, they were the size of genuine tennis balls, just bubbles on my skin, full of I'm assuming pus and gross no-nos. Just on my arms, one on each arm. I had literal tennis ball sized blisters on each arm from the sun. And that's like a tennis ball isn't the biggest ball out there, right? But like if you think of a bump that big on your arm due to the sun. Also, I think I have the music turned way up, and yeah, let's do this. Okay, well that didn't end up going well. But yeah, if you think about blisters that goddamn big on your arms, that's not fun. In fact, that's very anti-fun, I would even say. It hurt like a goddamn bitch, and it was just awful. I mean, like, eventually they popped naturally, and I had to take some days off of school back then because like the doctor said, we do not want to prematurely pop them as the skin underneath it is not quite ready to exist. So I had to get them wrapped very, very gently, but they were still like solid and firm enough to be wrapped, which is hilarious. But I had to get them wrapped, and I couldn't go to school because the risk of bumping. First of all, this is hilarious because COVID, and you can't like this isn't even something like COVID's changed a lot, right? But like back then, I'm sure schools are still the same way because no one cares that there's a pandemic, right? Even though it's definitely better in the sense of the death rates, but like the rate of getting COVID is definitely up there. But the risk of bumping my arms on other students in the hallway was apparently too great, so I wasn't allowed to go to school for like 3 days while my arm bubbles healed, which is just terrifying to think about. I mean, I don't think I could survive that nowadays. Like that's awful. And obviously, on top of the gigantic blisters on my arm, which is, once again just very entertaining. There were like the entire, and this is like my right beneath my shoulder, by the way, in case you're wondering where my arm this was. It's right beneath my shoulder. Oh yeah, no, that's fun. Love that one. Love this room, by the way. It's never annoying or anything. I'm very glad it exists in the game. But right beneath, like right all surrounding the blister, the two giant blisters was just a bunch of smaller normal blisters. So my arm was just it was just a minefield, dude. It was disgusting. Oh, we can just take the double heart. It's not gonna hurt us. It was disgusting. It was awful. And you know what? Kind of loved it. It no, I didn't at all. But like, it's an interesting story, right? Because like I'm sure it's relatively common for that to happen. Maybe none of like maybe a lot of you haven't heard of that happening, but like it can't be too uncommon if it just. And now keep in mind it was probably in the 90 like Fahrenheit, by the way. It's probably in the 90s. It was probably out for a good few hours, and I probably no. I specifically remember that I did wear sunscreen. I just didn't apply it too often. Also, thank you, game, for doing that right before we got a solar. Greatly appreciate it. But yeah, so I did have sunscreen on, but I doubt I applied it enough, is my guess. Which is that my fault? Yeah, 100%. But at the same time, I was 10. So like someone should probably be reminding me to put on sunscreen or even doing it for me as the 10-year-old that I was at that time. But no, apparently not, which is completely fair, I guess. But yeah, so I do remember that. They were freaking huge, and it was an interesting day slash week slash week. That yeah, yeah, we're ending it week for sure. But you know, the whole question of the day still hasn't been answered. Do I like the beach? Kind of. As I've grown up, I have gotten more and more, I guess, like not accepting, but less and less vulnerable to the sun. I think I don't know if it directly has to do with my hair growing darker or if they're both related to some other cause, but definitely I can be out in the sun for a while now, and I can't remember the last bad sunburn I've had. And keep in mind, while I don't go outside all the time, I'm not gonna try to lie to you. I don't. Okay, I'm not an avid outside viewer, right? But I do go outside, and in fact, even just this year, I was much safer this year, to be fair. Maybe that's also something to do with it. My just genuine brain cells increasing in mass. But I went to the beach and it was like high 90s, nearing 100 degrees Fahrenheit, like a year ago. And I got the lightest sunburn in the world. Like I was just like slightly rose tinted, and like it was just like a little bit of discomfort. And that's fantastic because when I was a kid, if I went outside, it was a guaranteed like, hey, you're getting a sunburn. I have gotten sunburns several times in the winter. I think it's because of the sun reflecting off the snow, maybe. But I've gotten several sunburns out while it was literally the middle of winter, and I'm talking like cold ass season, right? So like sunburns are very common to me. Also, we definitely did not need to waste that bomb. I think this is a better reroll. You know what? It definitely was not. Is what that's what I've learned. But yeah, so I've had my fair share of sun experiences, but I don't mind going to the beach with friends now, assuming I am well equipped, and that means like, you know what? Could have been a lot worse. I probably wouldn't have found that. Like I wouldn't have bothered finding the second secret room. So if it has anything useful in it, it was directly because of the Book of Secrets. Ooh. I guess we can. I mean, I kind of want to carry the Empress, but I don't want to use Wheel of Fortune now because if it's a special arcade with the modded machines, so, like there's the one that spawns familiars for 10 cents. There's claw machines. Like there's a lot of expensive machines that I would rather have the money for before I end up going. That was actually okay. So you basically got a health up in the item room. Not horrible. But yeah. So the beach can be fun, definitely. Then again, there's so many annoying parts. Like where I live, since I'm on the East Coast. The water is freezing for most of the year. Like for most of the year, the water is just absolutely freezing, and like it takes to like the dead middle of summer for the water to get mildly warm. And that's not fun. So half the time, like if you're gonna go there when it's not the middle of summer, and I typically end up going like once a year, the second it gets warm out, because once it stops being freezing, that's when you're like, oh boy, I can like do this and that, and then that's, you know what, not preferred. But yeah, once it stops being freezing, you're like, oh boy, I can go to the beach, I can do this, I can go for walks, and that's when you do that stuff. And then like over time, eventually, it just gets to the point where you're like, okay, I did it, and then you're done. You know, you did it, and you're like, wow, that was cool. I guess I've now accomplished my goal of going to the beach. And then the rest of the summer, you're like, it's too hot. Like it's hot out. Why would I want to do that? So I think definitely the most likely time of the year for me to go is like Once it starts warming up, what is this? Shooting star shots? Okay, I don't even need to read. Homing comet tears. Oh, it's luck based. Screw you. Why couldn't it? I didn't think it was a tier effect. I figured it was just my tears. I mean, they still seem pretty good. Like, I think what they do is they bounce off and home into other enemies. I could have read it, but, yeah, I was too excited by the shooting star shots. But it's kind of like Spoonbender Rubber Cement, but only sometimes. So it's like, it seems okay. Once we get a higher luck stat, assuming it's affected by luck, I could be okay with it. Do we have Encyclopedia installed? We do. Let's check it out. Inventory. Hold on, it's gonna lag. It always lags whenever I open my inventory. What are you? Oh, it's my card. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't add any additional information, which is unfortunate because I was hoping for like a little bit of insight as to whether or not luck affected it, and if luck did, what the luck like what luck stat you would need to get max, like what the distance is, if it's affected by range or not, blah 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 blah. Like there's a couple things I was looking for there, but not every mod creator feels like it's worth their time to go and enter every single one of their items into Encyclopedia, and you know what? I completely respect you. That's completely fair, and I'm not gonna be like, excuse me, how could you? So yeah, that was not that until it was. Emperor, teleport to the boss room if the boss wasn't defeated. Here, we're gonna do this finally. Wow, I'm so glad we waited so long for that. Every third shop item on the floor will cost 1 penny. Buying 2 items with hearts in one room makes all the items. I mean, like, that's not very good, though. That sounds like the kind of thing we'll never use. We'll use this for basically just a soul heart. No, I think we use the mapping. No, but we want the mapping for... Okay, we're going to use this now. Yeah, we're using this for the soul heart. And then... Oh, well, I mean... That... I hate Wormwood, dude. He needs to, like... He just needs to not be able to do that, basically. And then he'll be a much better boss. Also, this is an unfortunate use of our holy water. I mean, you know what? No, it did good damage. But anyway, yeah. So the sun and I, we're not great friends, but I do like the beach. Like springtime beach, if you're ignoring the good old, what's it called? Water is very good. I mean, Fire Baby is nice, but Brimstone Lord of the Pit is better. Um, but yeah, if you're ignoring the water part of things, Perks is nice. Gulp is really good. Okay, we have Teardrop Amulet for ever, which is nice. Oh my goodness, I hate these things. But yeah, if you're ignoring the water side of thing, it's really great in the spring because you get like a nice warm walk down the beach, and I do like the sand. The sand can be annoying for sure because like, give me good. Oh, that was good. He gave me the good. But yeah, the water's great, but the sand can totally be annoying. I mean, it's just very sandy, right? You get sand in your shoes and your socks. You pull out sand from your shorts like 3 weeks later. It's like, come on. Okay, well, why'd we do it twice? Now we have to give up another, like, whole bunch. It was just money farming, let's be honest. But, like, yeah, you end up giving up so, like, much comfort to go to the beach, but it can definitely be a good, fun time. We'll take this, because now we're rich. Didn't we have another item we wanted to reroll? I don't know, but we'll go to the Lost Dimension, since we're basically nearing Lost Health anyway. Oh, no, 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 we got Shooting Star Tears from our shop, which I'm very confident are completely useless now that we have Brimstone. But yeah, so like all the sand that part can. Did you see Minimap API flip? That was the coolest thing ever. But yeah, the sand can be annoying, but like, one of the beaches I go to because once again I'm on the East Coast, so I'm not close to a beach. Um, like I'm not on the coast or anything, but I can definitely get to the beach. I'm not like in Ohio or something where if you want to go to a beach, you're taking a hike, right? But I'm not. I'm also not in like Cape Cod, which I think Cape Cod has beaches. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever been to Cape Cod, so I'm not entirely sure. Charred dice, one death, rerolling all my items. That sounds fun. We could play 50-50 ball. We can just kill ourselves, see what happens. No, but yeah. So like, I I I can get to the beach, so I do go to the beach yearly because it's not hard. And to be honest, with the length of drive, I could probably go to the beach weekly and not feel too offended by the drive. So the beach is definitely a goal, like not a goal, an achievable destination for me. It's not. Ooh, yeah, sorry, Mr. Dice Boy. But yeah, the beach is definitely an achievable destination for me. However, on average, it's just like it's also a lot of work, you know what I mean? Like I still have to get there. And while I can, and it doesn't take forever, it still takes time. So the drive there is suboptimal for sure. The sand is a little annoying. If you go in the summer, I'm gonna get burnt, right? And I think this might have a chance to drop a bomb, so we'll do it. Get this guy out of the way. But yeah, like if I go in the summer, there's a decent chance I get burnt. But now let's talk about the plus sides. Beach pizza. Beach pizza fucking slaps. Unless you get sand in it, then it's like slightly worse beach pizza. They have arcades at the beach, and I don't really go to arcades very often, but like when I'm at the beach, I'm gonna go to the arcade, right? So like I do like the arcade. I like the beach pizza. The boardwalks, which a couple of the beaches I go to have boardwalks, not just one. But the boardwalks are always very nice. You get to look over to the ocean. You know, it kind of feels like you just reached the world border. You know what I mean? And it's definitely nice. It's relaxing. I love the sounds of the beach for sure. It has very calming atmosphere. So there's a lot of positives, but there's also like it's a handful of negatives. So I would say that I'm okay with the beach. I think it is a nice time, but it's not the beach. I don't want to go there like every other day, right? Some people do. Some people even want to like live by the beach, and like I respect that. I guess I couldn't imagine myself being uh, a consistent beach goer. Also, we'll leave Boomerang till we see if there's a deal with the devil. But yeah, I couldn't imagine myself. Also, yeah, shooting star shots. Literally, I was gonna make them the thumbnail, and then we got Brimstone, and now they don't work. So now there's no real point to put them in the thumbnail. But yeah, so I could never see myself being a consistent beachgoer. And if you do like the beach that much, props to you. I respect your adventures into nature. I think it is respectable to like the beach and to like going outside that much. I can't join you all the time. I'll go like once again, I'll go like once or twice a year because I feel like I do need to see the beach. It's a nice change of pace. I go do my fair bit of traveling, but only in like my side of the state, you know. So like I've traveled to New Hampshire a few times. New Hampshire it's not a place I go to all the time, but I've traveled there a few times, and I'm specifically talking like northern, not like Manchester, which is a city in New Hampshire that it's like the big city of New. What is Birthright? Oh yeah, we love Birthright around here. I don't think Scanner is gonna do that, but we'll take Scanner. We'll upgrade Scanner. Well, we won't because Scanner can't be upgraded, of course, as everyone knows. But yeah, like I'm definitely a big fan of going to like northern New Hampshire, which not often, not often. But I've gone my fair share of times. Not like I would say I've been there like at least 10 times. Dad's charms have a not exploding a bomb. That's like actually only okay. Yeah, so I've gone my fair share of times, and it's okay. However, like it's a hike, dude. You know, like I'm not gonna be there in 10 minutes, right? So in case anyone's been secretly trying to figure out where I live, you now know that I don't live 10 minutes away from northern New Hampshire. So there's that. But like New Hampshire is super nice. The mountains, oh, mountains are really pretty. I like mountains for sure. Like mountainous areas. I think if I'm ever gonna settle anywhere when I'm older, like if I have unlimited money and I'm going somewhere, I would probably go somewhere that's like more mountainous. I love the scenery. I think it's gorgeous. New Hampshire's even on the maybe list, but like I don't know. I don't know. I don't have plans that far out yet. You know what I mean? So I'm not quite sure. But I do love the mountain areas of New Hampshire, like what's North Conway, North Conway, North Conway. I was trying to remember what it's called. There's a city in New Hampshire, North Conway, and it's beautiful. I've been there a couple times. They have a lot of stuff to do. To be fair, like they're the tourist destination of New Hampshire, pretty much, at least the one that I know about. And you know what? I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of North Conway. I would like to go again at some point. I haven't been in potential. I think maybe years, to be honest. I think I literally haven't been to, and that sucks because as a kid we went a little bit. Like I wouldn't say we went fucking every month or anything, but I wouldn't even say every year. But you know, we went frequently enough to the point where I have memories of the place, right? But you can't really drive X amount of time away all the time, right? Like that's kind of just it's one of those things that some people might do it, some people might, but I couldn't do it. It's too much. Also, I don't have a car. Um, also, I can't drive, by the way. I don't like cars. I am terrified of cars. And because I have such bad anxiety in cars, I choose, okay? I've chosen not to really go for my license, which I know is probably a brain dead choice, but like I truthfully believe with how bad and I by the way, I've had a lot of time driving because I have driven like a good amount of times with exes, family members, etc., etc., etc. Like I've gone driving several times in my life, and I would say on average I'm a good driver. I can drive. I know how to drive. I could probably pass my driving test with like a couple days practice because I haven't driven in a long time, right? I kind of just eventually gave up on the whole dream of get a car. Oh, it's so freeing. It's like I believe you. I believe you. It's probably very nice. And keep in mind, I live far from my family, so not having a car definitely hurts a little. It would be better to have a car that way I could actually drive and see my family on my schedule, but I just don't, and I don't see myself getting one anytime soon. Money wise, I mean, they're expensive as hell. Not even just buying one, but the upkeep, right? When your car breaks, you're looking at so much money to go and replace it. And I don't love that. Not replace the car, obviously, but like fix the car. And I don't love that. Money is something that I'm very tight on because I do choose to do a job that does not pay well for the benefit of my own mental health. Because while I am not rich, I do enjoy day-to-day life and what I do for a job. So I would say I've made a good choice financially because like as long as you can afford to live, right? As long as you can afford to live. Okay, well, what do we take here? Honestly, I'm debating the 1 cent scratch card. It's also 1 cent down here, though there's nothing I really care about down here. I think if we re-roll the shop, it'll continue to be 1 cent. So let's do this. Nothing here. Let's re-roll again. Okay, I didn't see any of the items I missed, which is good. We will take this, and then we'll go find our secret room. But yeah, so, like, I'm sure cars are freeing and shit, and I'm sure they're great and cool and whatever, but, like, I don't know. I don't really... Oh, my God, this is a really, really good place. If we can get some luck going, there's one. There's two. No, I probably should say there's two once we get it. There's three? No. Okay, let's use this. What do we have? What's a 4 quality? Experience bar, keeper's kin. Oh, it's ballot, isn't it? Ballot, we're even going to take ballot. I was going to reroll for something better, but, like, I think it's going to be hard to beat ballot, so we won't reroll. Just hoping for 2 cents. Okay. We will go grab our D and then pop it in there. And keep in mind, we have an extra battery in the shop that we can probably buy if we get 2 more cents. Okay, this one was really good, right? Gain a small stat up whenever you... pick up a coin, chance to lose, stat up, and spawn pickups once per floor. Okay, this item is really good if I remember correctly. So we'll go for more charges. But anyway, yeah. So I don't remember the full place in my conversation, but like I know we were talking about cars and that I don't want one. But yeah, so I can definitely drive blah 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 blah. I really don't want to. And the one thing I've ever gotten that I drove and I didn't hate. Oh, and the reason I don't want to is because since my anxiety is so bad in cars, I'm worried that if my anxiety gets bad enough while driving, I'm worried I could get into an accident because of it. I truly believe my anxiety is that bad. Once I get my anxiety under wraps more, which it's gonna take a minute due to some insurance reasons, right? But once my anxiety's under wraps more, I definitely think I'm gonna go for my license because the only thing stopping me is I feel like because of how bad my anxiety is in cars, that it is like I feel like it's just unsafe for me to be behind the wheel, right? So I'm gonna respect that, and it's not even more about like I'm afraid I'll get into a crash. Like, yes, I am. Okay, I'm gonna tell you straight up, but that it's more like if I get into a crash, I could seriously hurt someone else, and I think that's something that I don't want to risk because. Also, we're just going to take Kane's other eye. I doubt we're going to have a chance to reroll it. Because we want to reroll going into the boss fight. Actually, I think we'd rather reroll a secret room than a devil room. But yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I don't want to put someone else's life at risk because I want the convenience of being able to drive. I would rather take the inconvenience and not have that luxury, quote unquote, than actually just attempt to and risk hurting other people. I think that's horrible. Isaac is sad. Displays why X is Y statements on Uncleared room statement can affect your protect. Dude, it's too complicated. I'm sure it's a really cool item mod creator, but like, you can't do me like that. That's too much reading. We'll reroll again. Crackling Slag is very cool. We really like this. Another collection mod from. I still need to figure. I'm gonna verbally ask you how to pronounce your name, mod creator, because I have no goddamn clue. It's not your name either. Your name also Crackling Slag might not. I know it does work with Brimstone. I have tested this. It's just it's a low chance to proc to begin with, and because your laser is a laser and you have to charge and you don't shoot very often, I don't think it works often. But I do believe we'll see the occasional crag shot. Like, I don't know, it's weird, but I do think we will. We'll switch because I don't want a ball. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's just the bad call. Okay. Great. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I forgot we had this. Oh, wait, what the, why do we have, where did Screw go? You know, I guess I'm taking his Spirit Spar. Um, what do we have here? Oh, it's the familiar false PhD. Oh my god, it's little cute boy. I don't know what this does. Wait, let me actually check. That's an invalid character screen. Um, let me wrap up this car conversation real quick. Give us a little that box over after. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let me wrap up this conversation real quick. Basically, I think I'll get a car eventually, but I need to. There's more stuff I gotta do that's more important than getting a car first. So we'll worry about that, and then we'll worry about a car, right? And when I get a car, I'm sure it'll be super duper duper cool. But until then. I am fine living, and also like growing up. I'm pretty used to the idea of not having a car because my mom she didn't drive either. She didn't like driving. She had anxiety in cars, so she didn't drive either. So like I am definitely used to the whole not having a car thing. It doesn't seem weird to me not wanting one. I kind of was like raised a little on that principle. Then there was the other side of the coin, and my dad he loves cars. Like he's always loved cars. So like I had conflicting ideals there. But you know, it's just it doesn't seem weird to me. And I know some of you are like, because not to like get too much into age on YouTube, because like basically don't post your age in the comments. But I am sure some of you are not old enough to drive, right? Let's just get the fact out there. If 1,000 people see this video, which I mean, who knows? Because it depends on how clickable the video is. If nothing special happens in the run, then 1,000 you probably won't see it. But if 1,000 you see the video, odds are at least one of you isn't old enough to drive. And I'm sure that person is thinking, damn, ow, first of all. That's exactly what you're thinking. But I'm sure some of you are thinking, spawns 3 waves of rocks, rock in your eyes, dealing damage. That's cute. That's more than 3. Yeah, oh, that's more than 3. And I'm sure some of you are just thinking, like, that's so weird. I literally, 50, as you on room entry, 50% chance to hit one of your existing passes. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? We can get double brim eventually. In fact, we probably will. But like I'm sure at least some of you are thinking, damn, I cannot believe he doesn't want to drive. I cannot wait to get my license. I can't wait to get a car. And you know what? Good. You should be excited. Also, be careful. Because driving, you can get into accidents. Now, you're not just going to get into an accident, right? If you drive, you're not just going to get into like a super serious car crash the second you start driving or blah, 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 blah. You just gotta be careful. Make sure when you're learning to drive, whether you like, I don't know, different states have different rules, right? I think some states require you to have a learner's permit, right? Is like when you take a fucking class or something. I don't know, but I think some states require you to have a learner's permit. But if you have to do it, whenever you're learning to drive, whether it's for a learner's permit or just on your own free time, whatever, like if you're doing it with your parents. I don't know. It all depends on where you live, right? Demonic Talisman is worth 40 cents. Oh, it's that one. I don't like that item. It hurt me once. But yeah, whenever you're learning how to drive, whatever it is, whether it's in a classroom type setting or it's just with family, simply do this. Pay fucking attention, okay? Don't be a bitch, all right? Just when someone's saying, "Hey, do this and do this," don't be like, "Hey, why would I even get to do that?" If you do that, you are no longer a subscriber of mine. I'll ban you from my channel. Just learn how to drive. Just put the fucking time into it. It's like learning how to drive. It literally isn't hard. Okay, not to be that guy. Not to say driving isn't hard, but driving is super super simple. The hardest part is getting a feel for the wheel and just the car in general. Like you already know. We could get a 1 cent in a room with enemies. Sacrifices a random enemy and 1 soul. Okay, here's the thing. We're officially dropping this because now I know how it works, right? In a room with enemies, you use it, and it's going to sacrifice enemies. We're going to use it for a long time and try to get the platinum tier, and then get a bunch of Devil Deal items. But anyway, yeah, like, just pay attention. Like, it surprisingly isn't hard, believe it or not. It really isn't. It's just the type of thing that all you got to do is pay attention, listen, and then once you're driving, just feel out the pedal and the brake, so you know how to comfortably go and then stop, and it all will work out, right? Just don't be an idiot. That's all I had to say, because I do worry, because there's a lot of pretty shit drivers in the world. If we're being real, there's a lot of pretty shit drivers, and I feel like a lot of them stem from not really caring when you're learning how to drive, and like speeding and shit. It's really cool, you can go a little faster. But like, let's say you go like 80 in a 60 on the highway. No, I mean 80 on the highway is fine. But like, let's say you're going 70 in like a 40, right? Um, Here's the thing. Eventually, what's gonna happen is you're gonna reach traffic, and then you're gonna slow down. That will happen, okay? And if that happens, you know what you just did? All you did was nothing. You didn't. Probably maybe saved a minute of your time. Why? Why was that important? Is that really important enough to like risk someone's life? You're just like, hey, I'm gonna go 80 because it's kind of funny. Ha, ha. Like, don't. Like, what's the point? I don't get it. I know I'm probably seeming like a bit of a bitch. People are like, huh, Grind doesn't live life in the fast lane. No, I fucking don't. I take it slow. I live life in the slow ass lane. I'm on the. Oh, actually, I wouldn't like the right. The right lane on the highway sucks. That's technically the slow lane, but it's also where people enter the highway. So I don't like that one. But yeah, basically, don't be an idiot is the moral of my story. How's this run going? I mean, it's like everything a man could dream of, right? And demonic talisman on top of all of it. So it's like, it's very, very good. I'm not gonna pretend it's not. It's very good. We're kind of throwing right now, but that's okay. We should be fine either way. I want to see the double brim action, though. It just hasn't quite happened yet. As you can see, sometimes we get a hand that's coming around stealing our boys. That is demonic talisman's sacrificing enemies. Please tell me you can steal. Okay. And that's really good. Double brim. Okay, we got it. We're great. We're great. We're great. I don't know what that noise I made was, but sometimes you just roll with it. Oh, okay. But yeah, so the run is really good. Brimstone really solid. Whenever we pick up coins, we have a chance for a stat increase, which is obviously solid. Though we do have a chance to lose that stat increase at some point, but it's like at the end of a floor, and then if you do, you get an item for it, I believe. So it's like, yes, we could lose the stat increase, which is obviously unfortunate. No, it's not a bad thing because like, also, look at fucking Gluttony, dude. He's adorable. But no, it's not a bad thing because it just works out. You get an item for it. So you're stacking stats until one day the stats become an item. I do not see a problem with that, who's getting grabbed. I feel like I don't want to kill the grabby dude, the one that's getting grabbed, because I'm worried that I'll, like, really screw with things. He didn't grab him, I'll tell you that for free. He definitely tried. But that's okay. He tries his best. I don't know how many enemies we have to sacrifice to do what. But we're just gonna keep using it until like a little while from now. Also, Sewn Bond is so good. It's a trinket that makes it so whenever you have tier effects, which we technically do, because I believe Crackling Slag is a tier effect, though I'm not sure if it works. I know the trinket is acting weird. The mod developer said he did change it, because how it worked before was basically Mod said, no, I'm going to sum this up and probably sum it up in a horrible way that isn't even correct. But basically, Mod said, hey, familiar tier is player tier, haha. And then there were some problems that went along with making it that way. So he changed it to, hey, familiar tier is familiar tier with tier effect. But some tier effects just act weird with familiar tiers. So it is in a bit of a weird state. Like when I first tested it out, if you look at the mod view, Brother Bobby got Hemolacria Brimstone, worked like a charm, right? Like, it just worked, and it was great, and it was fun. Now that doesn't work, and some other things don't work, but then some things do work with some familiars, but not others, and it's weird. Like, if you get the Plum Flute, okay, this again, if you get the Plum Flute, for instance, tier affects almost all of them, except Brimstone Hemolacria still, of course, because apparently I'm not allowed to have fun. But if you, basically, okay, I was scared of this room because I saw the spikes, then I remembered we could fly. But yeah, basically, the Plum Flute, Godhead works with Plum Flute, Hemolacra works with Plum Flute, but they don't work with Brother Bobby, either of them. Oh, yeah, no, we keep it. I think it would still be a deal with the Devil item no matter what, but if we're looking at the two bosses, one of those was extremely easy in comparison, and it was the Fallen. You know what? I think a little Abadabba Ding Dong could be nice. I think an Incubus could be nicer. What is this, though? Flyboy? Check out Flyboy. Effect changes on floor. Each floor since pickup gradually become more of a fly. Grants flight after 6th floor. Oh, I don't care. But yeah. So the run's really good, but that trinket, if it works, it's gonna be really nice. I don't know how many tier effects we have, but we have we have BFF and like a decent number of familiars, and Kane's other eye does shoot. So if we get like Ipecac and that still works, it's gonna be dangerous, but it could be really fun and cool. So I figure we'll use it just because it's new too. I mean, the Curse Collection mod just came out. Also, I forgot that we can duplicate items sometimes, and we just duplicated Incubus, and that was really fun. But yeah, so I do really like this trinket, though it is sort of an, I'm gonna call a work in progress phase because of the whole changing things just managed to fuck with everything, because of course that's how programming usually goes, you know. You have something working and then you're like, hey, I'm gonna touch it like a little bit, and then it just goes, you sure about that? And the second you touch it, it's like everything just completely collapses in front of your eyes. It's kind of disgusting, but you know. Okay, we have a red demon boy. Obviously, we're going to go with the easier one. I think this mostly affects enemy spawns and like maybe some attack patterns. I'm not exactly sure. But, you know, this is the easier one. Not sure why there's a fire. I'm not going to try to lie to you. There is a fire. Not quite sure why. Okay, let's go up. We have a lot of items, though. We've been getting stacked this run. Also, mind me while I take a sip of my coffee. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of this run. I think soon we're gonna pop Demonic Talisman because, you know. Also, we got Fettered Heart again, which is an item we're just getting all the time. I love that item. Really cool effects, really cool noise when it happens. It's just overall, like, I just like the... Oh, I guess we pop... You're... Okay. I'm sorry, but that item is fucking trash. I mean, it was a misfire. I didn't mean to use it, but, like... You're telling me I'm gonna use it that many times across like 3 floors, and after 3 floors, it gives me two black hearts? Like, listen, I definitely used it more than 12 times, I would say, unless I didn't, in which case, okay, it's a fair, reasonable item, I guess. But I am pretty confident I used it more than 12 times, and if I used it more than 12 times, that means it just effectively acts like a much worse Satanic Bible. And I get it. If you use it enough, it becomes really good. But, like, you have to use it way too many times for it to become that good. Like, way too many times. But oh well. We basically dropped out D6 for complete trash. But we also got Birthright, which is basically a D6 on its own. Let's see. That's a shovel. There's a chance to take up a chest when you use. That's kind of funny. Gusty Blood. Okay, killing enemies grants me stuff is always fun. Play-Doh Cookie. All my familiars should have random tier effects now. We'll take a little attack Chubby Boy. And then we'll take Contagion. Great. I'm gonna see. Okay, let me see this dude. He's shooting. Kane's other eye doesn't appear to be shooting random tier effect tiers. So Rainbow might be one of the ones that doesn't work. It's unfortunate that we got Sonbon in this run, but that's fine. I mean, in all reality, well, it's a trinket, so we'll get it again. For the most part, like, getting specific items hurts. Also, let's just use this, because the whole point of carrying this so long was to, one day use it for, mapping, and I kind of forgot we had it for the longest time. But, yeah, like, Stone Bond, it's gonna be really good. We'll teleport to an extra boss room. Never mind. Never mind. We're just gonna teleport to the other end of the map. I guess it makes sense, because, like, we're on the final floor of the game, but, like, you know... You could have just let me fight another blue baby. I don't think that would have hurt anyone. Tank boys! Oh, I love you guys. Siren's Call. I didn't read what this does. I probably should have, but... Oh, isn't this the one that, what's this one do? I think it gives you wisps, unless I'm thinking of the other one. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Effects. When picked up on items, will grant one random item pool from the baby shop pool. No, okay, that's not the one. Player takes damage, then a random okay. The familiar is guaranteed to be a full key on Dark Room chest. Uh, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It was not a full key. We got the minecart, which is... Oh, he has our tier effects! He works! Look at him go! Okay, so it did work. But yeah, so... Apparently that was supposed to be a full key. I'm not gonna lie to you, we got a much better deal. Also, we got Isaac's heart at some point, which... Oh, it was a temporary familiar, that's right. But yeah, this familiar... I mean, this item is really good. It just gives you temporary familiars when you get hit and one permanent familiar. Like you can see it, it's highlighted in red. Goes away the next drum. I definitely like that item a lot. I'm glad we could see it. We've been seeing a lot, and I mean a lot of Curse Collection mod items, and we have all the collection mods installed. We have Ipecac community mod and so many mods installed, yet we're just getting Curse Collection mod. And you know what? That is kind of how I prefer things. It's super nice to have that because the Curse Collection is one of my... No, it's my favorite mod that's out right now. I'm not going to lie to you. It is just so good. Character mods can be fun, and there are some character mods that I really like, but I don't think character mods are as fun as vanilla content mods, right? Vanilla-esque content mods. Mods that you play and you're like, yes, I can totally see as being a real thing. Get minecarded, you dumbass. Hey, guess what? Get minecarded. Hey, guess what? Oh, no. Hot Wheels. Eat fresh? No, not quite. But yeah, like... The collection mods are just really good because they're not broken, they're just fun. I mean, they have some broken items, but I wouldn't classify them as broken. They're vanilla-esque mods that add a bunch of items and trinkets that I love. But anyway, that's going to be all. Still a thing of 1 because I went in to do some testing off camera. That's how I knew about the Stone Bond being broken. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you please, and I will see you next time.